Hello everybody, this is Father of the Ever-Chosen coming back to you with our quick battles. This is week one of the Empire, which we will be playing throughout the month of April. And we'll jump in here and start looking for a match. So, like last month, we'll be trying to learn how best to play the Empire from somebody, or from somebody's perspective, my own, that doesn't really know too much about the online battle scene. Was never really big into it in Rome 2, Rome 1, Empire. I didn't play Attila or Shogun, but I figure the quick battle scene in Warhammer is so diverse and varied, and any future Total War games will obviously have it, and it's always good to use the game to the fullest extent. I've spent all the money that I have on, between the two games, should get the fullest out of my purchase. So if we're playing the Empire, I think the logical pick is always to have a Jade Wizard. Put him on just a basic warhorse to get him around the battlefield. Life Bloom's good. Awakening in the Woods, not worth it. Earthblood's good. Flesh to Stone's not worth it. Shield of Thorns can be worth it. I think it'll be good because the dwarves, regrowth is obviously good. And the Dwellers Below, since we are going against the dwarves, I think the Dwellers Below, even though it is 216, I think it will be worth it because they fight in blobs. But other than that, grab the Power Stone just for the recharge rate. And we will start off with, let's go with just a generic General of the Empire. Up on on an Imperial Griffin. I won't need Stand Your Ground. It's not worth it because he'll be away from my front lines. Same thing with Hold the Line. Foe Seeker I will keep just for the vigor and the speed, since I will be having him, as my primary scout as well. And I think maybe grab the Charm Shield for the missile parry chance, since we're going against the dwarves. And then Sigmar Sons seems to be a good pick. The unbreakable nature of them. Great swords, I just think that they're probably too expensive. So we're going to go just with pretty basic troops for holding purposes. And where we're going to do our damage is with our missiles, our cavalry, and maybe some artillery as well. We will grab the crossbowmen. And I think Empire Knights, I think, will be worth it. Since we're going against the dwarves, I don't think I need Reichsguard or Knights of the Blazing Shield. Or Knights of the Blazing Sun, I mean. And I don't think I need demis. So we'll go with that, and then we're going to grab a unit of Outriders. Actually, we'll grab 2 units of Pistoliers in case they have an Air Force, also just to harass the back lines, and they should be fast enough to get away from any Slayers. And I think maybe now would be the time to get the artillery. The Hammer of Witches, we're going to grab the Sunmaker for that fire damage plus the AP. And then with the 1,000 that I have left, maybe grab a Warrior Priest. The miscast chance doesn't matter because there's no caster. And I think we'll try for this. Oh, and I forgot one of the lessons that I should have remembered, and that is to check the battle map. Now luckily, got, you know, a very open map, just this pond and this little rocky outcropping here, but should have a good line of sight. So just like with the dwarves, we'll be doing 2 battles, trying to keep it right around that half-hour mark. So already a big difference between the dwarves and the Empire is just the number of troops you can field. And I'm not as worried about putting them in lines because they're not going to have any magic that's going to, you know, be like a burning head coming right down, wind to death. I know they still have items that might be able to do line attacks, but they're not as effective. We'll put our Pistoliers over there. And this Hellstorm rocket battery will go right there. Should have good line of sight. Have that Warrior Priest there. Have our Knights and the Jade Wizard there. And the General of the Empire will be right there. So hard group them so that they walk all together. Alright. We'll start moving the troops around. They do have gyrocopters with brimstone guns, so I will have to be cognizant of that. The miners with blasting charges, I basically deleted that unit of spearmen, but I don't think the spearmen are necessarily the best target for that. The Sunmaker just already paying for itself. Alright. We can start focusing down these gyrocopters. We've got Longbeard, another Longbeard, and Quarrelers. And we'll pretty much just let the dwarves come to us, I think. I don't really see a reason to not. I think the rocket battery's pretty much paying for itself. They've got Ungrim Iron Fist, and a Runesmith. And we'll see if he's paying attention, otherwise he's going to lose a good chunk of those Quarrelers. Clearly was not paying attention. those quarrelers. Should be able to reach them. General of the Empire, still doing pretty good. The rocket battery is offline. And the General of the Empire over that way. Dropping Earth blood. And slowly just whittle down this dwarven army. They still have their heroes, which are always a bit of a hike. And like I said, when I was playing the dwarves, you know, I lost micro of my gyrocopters. You're already seeing me lose micro of the Empire Knights. It has never been my strong suit, and I definitely need to improve. Right, we're gonna redirect these crossbows onto those giant slayers. And if not for these two hero characters, I think the balance of power would be way more heavily, you know, in my favor. Do not want Ungrim to catch any of my heroes. He will be able to just delete them. Hopefully, dive bomb this Runesmith real quick. In and out. Just get me stun locked a little bit there. The missile parry chance increase. Reactivate these units. Have those Empire Knights charge in. Pull my lord out. Hopefully.
Ready to serve for the Warhammer.
Alright, these pistoliers will turn off skirmish mode, have them charge right into those miners. Oh, let's get a regrowth on the General of the Empire. That gyrocopter's gone. Let's see if I can get on to the next one. These soldiers come back. We got some regroup soldiers here as well. Reactivate these crossbowmen. Nope, pull him back out.
be? Yes, sir. Quickly.
Grand Soulfire.
For Heldenhammer. Take them off.
Dragonback Slayers have taken out my
Our steeds are restless.
caster.
By Gal Maraz. Swordsman.
And you can see how heavily this is weighted just because of the Dwarven leadership.
Sigmar, guide our fire.
I've still got quite a bit of an army, but they favor things with high leadership values, and there's no question that the dwarves have the highest leadership when it comes to their hero characters and their lords.
Victory will be ours.
Wrath and Ruin, slowing my general down.
By Gal Maraz. Shoot. Go.
But hopefully everything's pretty much
Sigmar preserve.
restabilized.
General. Ready to smite. Taking position. Our orders. We obey.
And for the most part, it doesn't look like there are any Dwarven troops that are going to come back to the battlefield.
Swordsman. We serve
And at this point, it's just having to deal with
Sigmar's heir.
Ungrim and this runesmith.
Ready. For front.
And unfortunately, they will be tough nuts to crack. This runesmith getting dive bombed. And I'll pull him back, my general back through my own troops. And pretty much just commit everybody to this fight. Got that Shield of Faith off
By Sigmar, obey
just
me.
in time before he may rout. Now Ungrim is a very real threat, seeing as he's the only unit. No, they have 52 units on the battlefield.
Swordsman.
You know, a few smatterings here and there, and it's enough to
Quick march.
keep the balance of power.
For the Empire. Chant the battle hymns.
Definitely want to keep my
For the Emperor. For Heldenhammer.
warrior priest alive
Take the ground.
for these bonuses. That battle prayer.
Wise counsel. We are Sigmar's
And as long as I'm able to
Yes, sir. Quickly. It will be done.
keep my general of the empire alive,
Sigmar.
I should be alright. They're fighting the Longbeards over there. These Longbeards have shattered. Those are broken. It should just be...
Warrior priest.
Nope, he's dead. So the warrior priest has died. We've got 9 minutes left in this battle. Ungrim is surrounded, but that doesn't really seem to matter. These troops are just so weak and ineffective against somebody as tough as Ungrim. I will have to probably do some cycle charging here, and he's definitely prepared for it.
To battle.
The only advantage I will have is I've got some crossbow men here that still have a fair amount of ammunition,
Withdraw.
and I've got Sigmar's sons in here, and they won't break,
Yes, my lord.
so they'll be able to keep him in check. He will not break leadership wise. He's still at 100 leadership, and he is a slayer, so he's unbreakable, so I do have to kill him.
Soldiers of the Empire, go!
which I'm going to try to move these guys out. Keep Sigmar's sons
We serve the
and
Emperor!
the crossbowmen in here.
Spot us the target!
And if I can move the crossbowmen out, perhaps I can get some shots in on Ungrim.
Guide our fire! Swordsman!
That will be the best way to kill him.
Position! Understood.
Just
The Empire
to fire
is
at him.
crossbowmen!
You guys got a clear line of sight. Clear as day.
By Ulrich's wrath!
Oh, I may have to risk charging into him one more time. There's still plenty of time left on the battle map. You know, just to nickel and dime him down. You know, Sigmar's sons will hold as long as I need him to.
Take aim!
Even if he is to kill all of them off, my crossbowmen probably will get both of those shots off. And then I still have
Yes, my
a
lord!
pretty sizable force to just pounce on Ungrim.
See to it!
I don't think charging down into combat would benefit me any. Balance of powers totally in my favor.
We are Sigmar's
I will win eventually. It's not exactly the most noble victory, I guess.
Wise counsel!
So I will charge down on him.
And speed!
And if he hits me,
Go!
it will be bad. Because he's got all those buffs. Get back up in the air.
Attack!
Alright. Pyrrhic victory. An ugly victory. But a victory nonetheless. So, even these low tier Empire units did the work that they needed to. The Sunmaker, 77 kills. Against a force of 818. A little under, probably right around like 8.7% of their army was killed just by that one unit. The Pistoliers, I think, did good. Definitely need to do better micro with any cavalry, and need to make sure that I keep the Wizard alive, because I definitely could have kept the Jade Wizard alive a little longer, thus probably keeping the Warrior Priest alive longer. And I would have been less afraid of charging the General of the Empire in there at the end. But other than that, and I don't think the Dwellers Below was really worth it. I know it killed a good chunk of, I think, this Quarreler, the one that was held to 5 kills. But I don't think it was worth it in the end. So one more match. Try to pick up whatever else I can learn from them, and then unlike last month, we'll have 4 Empire videos, since I didn't start the first week of March. Alright. So, hilly and lots of forest. Probably not the best battle map for artillery. This time, I think we will take... Oh, let's just upgrade to Boris Todbringer. Put him up on his Griffin. Give him the Midland Runefang and the White Cloak of Ulrich. So we're going up against the Tomb Kings. So they're going to bring Ark in the Black, more than likely. Again, I think probably a Jade Wizard on a horse with just regrowth and Earth Blood and the Power Stone. And then I think the Warrior Priest is still a good pick, keeping him on foot. The Divine Power for the miscast, definitely. And the Banner of Eternal Flame, the fire damage, undead weak to fire. And then Sigmar's Sons. And definitely things with shields, because you've got plenty of good archer options for the Tomb Kings. But I'm not going to need any AP. So I think I might be able to get away with just some basic archers. And let's get some dummies with halberds, just in case they bring something like an Yarrow Titan or a Kemrian War Sphinx, and probably the Royal Altdorf Griffites. And a unit of Outriders, just for the armor-piercing missiles, the ability to scout with them. I think they probably would trade pretty well with things like Sepulchral Stalkers. And I think that'll be good. Hopefully we can walk away with 2 victories. But we will see. The goal will probably be to hold somewhere in this general area, this clearing, so that my archers have a pretty good area to fire. Alright. So, definitely keep them in the woods. This time I will have to worry about spells, but if it is Arc in the Black, I just have to wonder if he sprung for things like the Purple Son of Zerus, or if he's just going to try to Spirit Leech snipe my my characters, which he very well could do. Alright, yeah, probably just advance, hold my troops right here in this clearing. Probably have the archers maybe fire out of the wood, so I can retreat back. Have a screen with the demis, and then use the Outriders to pick off high value targets. And if they bring anything big, hopefully by ganging up with Boris and the demis, I'm able to stop them before they tear through my lines, because anything like an Yarrow Titan or a Kemrian War Sphinx or Bone Giants will definitely do some pretty serious damage. So we've got to advance, and advance quickly. Bring my Griffites off to the flanks. I think they pretty much just sprung for the Bone Giants. And they've got Tomb Guard. And then right here they've got the Ushapti with great bows. if I can bait out some of the fire from the great bow. And they actually went with a Tomb King instead of Archon, which definitely will benefit me. These Outriders will be good at taking out these Tomb Guard with halberds. And we'll move Boris up. And then just pick good targets for the archers. Skeletal Spearmen, the warriors. Alright, that bone giant is now targeting me.
Yes, General. Moving now. The Empire endures. No!
Alright. I can push him through. I don't know how the Demigryph Knights are not well suited against the Tomb King, seeing as he is large. Let's pull them back this way, rear charge these skeletal warriors, and then just pull them straight through. That should be enough. Drop an Earth Blood and pull Boris in.
Yes, General! Your orders? That's an order! It will be done! Faster!
Hopefully with the collapse of their infantry.
Quickly! Sir! Moving now!
For some reason they're not going for the attack, since I was definitely not paying attention. Get a nice rear charge there.
It will be done!
And just have Boris kind of wander around. If I can get these Demigryph Knights engaged.
Charge! Now! Battle wizards! I am its vessel! Attack!
Bone Giants should be dropping.
Our orders? Ready? Yes, General! For France! Outriders!
And these Outriders
Moving now!
will go and support by taking out the Carrion.
Missile infantry! Fire! Sigma! Preserve us! By the Emperor's will!
Get Boris back up in the air.
Get them! Power of nature!
Hit him with a regrowth.
Let the wind of life!
Earth Blood dropped over there. Power Stone.
All things must wither! Battle awaits!
And that should pretty much spell the doom for this Tomb King.
Swordsman! For the comet,
Got the
ready!
Ushopti
The Empire
here,
endures!
but
Shoot them!
ultimately it won't matter much. Their Bone Giants are
Demigryph Knights!
toast.
Feel life flow!
I think my micro was much better this time, keeping the Demigryphs on the move,
Sigma calls!
having them screen each other.
Sigma calls!
You know, in doing so, both Bone Giants are, you know,
Yes, sir!
off the field.
Take the ground!
All they have left really is this Tomb Guard with halberds, but they won't last. Not without leadership, they're already crumbling. And I think if anything, that should be a pretty decisive It says close, but I think that was a pretty decisive victory. Um, Obviously, the Empire are the most diverse faction. Being able to field, you know, pretty competent low tier infantry with, every single wind of magic, save for, um, high magic, the lore of vampires, the lore of Nehekara, and dark magic, the magic exclusive to the dark elves. But with all that, plus their wide array of artillery options, their great cavalry. I mean, I know these Demigryph Knights only got 20 kills, but I didn't put any experienced chevrons on them, and they got 2 experienced chevrons by taking out the Bone Giant. Um, Obviously their losses are always going to be higher because they're a faction that crumbles in the end, but I only lost 305 troops, and they deployed 228 more than I did. Low tier skeletal warriors and skeletal spearmen aren't great, but Tomb Guard with halberds, this is a very expensive lot of points that only ended up accounting for 30 kills. Their carrion did better, if that's any indication of how poorly they were used. All they did was make me not be able to charge the Griffites, the Royal Altdorf Griffites, or my Demigryphs with halberds directly at the Bone Giants. I just had to curl. And they didn't then come and support the Bone Giants. The one charged off and was able to get rear charged by the Royal Altdorf Griffites. It's a mouthful. And the other eventually got a hold of these Demigryph Knights, but clearly I think I only lost 1 unit model. I had put experienced chevrons on all of these, but even these swordsmen were able to rack up another one. And Boris, for the most part, didn't even do anything. He could have not even been at the battlefield, and I don't think it would have been too much different. The Tomb King might have survived a little longer. This warrior priest, those battle prayers, definitely help these low tier infantry end up striking above their class, and that banner giving the fire damage was able to bring this Tomb King down with the help of, the rest of my army. So, all in all, I think that was a really good battle, and hopefully the next 3 weeks will all be, double victories in the form of the Empire. I know the Empire is probably one of the easier factions to get in because they are so diverse, and if you know at least a little bit about the game, you should be able to counterpick pretty well. But I would like to learn, certain factions, and the Empire and the Dwarves were 2 of them. I think the Vampire counts maybe next. And then I don't know what the 4th faction will be. I think sticking with 4 for the first year so I can revisit them twice will be good. And there are certain factions that I have no desire to play as. I'm not a big fan of the Lizardman army. I just don't like how it plays. So I probably won't play as the Lizardman. I'm a firm believer in, playing what you want to play and getting the most enjoyment out of it. But that'll be it for me tonight. So enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Stay home, and we'll ride out this coronavirus pandemic together. I'll be bringing you 2 videos every week. So until Friday, this is Father the Ever-Chosen signing off.